true. All right, my apologies, everyone out there for starting late. Yeah. A little confused. The meeting's at 7.
Not to the best of us.
All righty, let's get this show on the road then. All right, got my glasses on. All right, as a preliminary matter, I'm Jane Moran, Chair of the Upper Charles Trail Committee, and permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. When I call your name, please respond present if you are here. Eric Sonnet. No. Bob Snyder, he said that he would not be able to make it. Eli is not here. Jim Cirillo,
Here.
Ken Parker,
Here.
Jamie. Here. Scott.
Here.
Tim.
Here.
Okay, and Jane is present as well. All righty. So this is the open meeting of the Upper Charles Trail Committee is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 22 of the Acts of 2022. For this meeting, the Upper Charles Trail is convening via Zoom as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. And it is also being broadcast by HCAM. Please note that during this meeting, it is being recorded and that some attendees are participating via video conference. So if you're out there and you want to say something, just wave hi. Hi, Mary Ellen.
Just as an addendum to that, it is not going out over HCAM because of technical.
It's a glitch,
difficulties.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's why we're
Recording
putting
it
it
on
on.
Google
Thank you.
so that there'll be a record.
Okay, so we're being,
Might be able to post someplace in the future.
okay, so we're being recorded via Google, I guess.
A meeting
Very
this
good.
night that might have caused a snafu.
What's that? You're breaking up a little bit, Mary Ellen.
Oh, she's frozen.
Now you're frozen.
Talked before. You're frozen, Mary Ellen.
Okay,
Well, we're not going live on HCAM.
no. So having said all that, we'll turn to the first item on the agenda, which is public comments. Does anyone from the audience have anything that they want to say or make a comment about, or otherwise make yourself known? I don't see anyone here. Who's M?
Mary Ellen.
Matt,
Oh,
Matt Fox.
Matt.
Oh, Matt Clark from.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Jump in to tell us the footage.
Great. Okay, so did everyone get a chance to look at the minutes from 5:15, which is our last meeting?
Mhm.
And so this is our draft. If you have any comments?
Yeah, it's not, not other
Mm.
than. So I was on the,
Oh, okay. That's all right. I've got reminds me to turn off mine too. While you're looking. It's always hard to capture everything when you're doing minutes, but I think we got the most of it.
Yeah, I looked at it. I thought you
We got,
using my recording. It was.
yeah,
spot on.
the recording is very helpful. All right.
So my only comment was there was no mention of open comments. I don't remember what they were, but there was a discussion before the meeting with a couple of people, Peter, and I think someone else had weighed in, but I don't.
For the meeting?
No, when we opened up to
Open
the
comments?
open comments, but I don't
remember what those.
I don't
were.
recall. So we may need to refer to
I
the
can go back.
to summarize it.
We can go back and look.
Yeah,
But other than that, the rest of the minutes seem fine to me.
Or it's not gonna submit it anyway, I don't think.
do you think Peter was the only one?
Or amend to refer to the recording, perhaps on the website. Because of the dialogue, and I'm not sure if you want to capture all the dialogue. But just reference.
Well, I think,
I don't know.
well, what's the deal? We can't
Recording,
send these in anyway, can we?
not until we vote on them.
Well, no, I know that, but I mean, I thought that, I thought we couldn't because we're waiting for the select board or something like that.
No, we've been handing in I knew that was gonna happen. We've been,
Yeah. Let me just see something.
I can't talk right now. I'll call you back. We have been handing in the minutes after every meeting. After they've been voted and approved.
When did we meet?
We met on the 15th. May 15th was our last meeting. We have a quorum.
Oh, I don't know if you need to go. I think maybe we could just,
Well, but
Okay,
if we could
thanks,
do
Ed.
it, if we could amend it now, it'd be
Right,
best.
let's see if there's anything here. You can see if you can find that.
send it to voicemail.
Okay.
15. Is that what we're trying, what are we trying to answer?
He's trying to play the meeting.
Well, I have it here, but I have the transcript,
Oh, okay.
so I'm looking to see,
Okay, got it.
but unfortunately, it only says speaker 1, 2.
Right up front. When I was just cruising through that, Jim, but I'll look through it again.
Yeah, okay, so,
Can we approve them, with the contingent on just adding a summary statement of what the open comment was or something?
I can find them.
I mean, just a summary, or like one sentence is probably fine. Open comment was discussed about X, Y, Z.
Okay, anyone else?
oh, public comment.
I mean, pub comment,
Yeah,
yeah.
right, I know it's been.
Will do. Anything else on the minutes? Okay, I'll take care of that. All right, I don't think we have to do a roll call because all of our members are here. So we can just,
I did look, you did that.
yeah, I know I did, but
Yeah.
I didn't have to. Everyone is present.
So-
If we had someone on video.
If there's no other comments, I'll make a motion that we accept the draft, we approve the draft minutes to be corrected with information from the public comment period
I'll second that.
last time,
Okay.
which would mean that you would, put that together.
Okay. Okay, so and then we can move on to the
Well,
suggested
take a vote,
changes.
Take a vote, take a vote of it. You got a motion to approve?
Motion is second.
Oh, yeah, motion and second, all in favor, signify by raising your hand or saying aye.
Aye,
Okay, thank you.
you guys,
Any opposed?
they have to vote.
Yes.
Yeah, you
One
gotta
of you
vote.
is gonna have to, and I think it's you,
You can both vote.
because we don't have a quorum without you, Jamie.
So Jamie's
Maybe
an
you can
aye.
share.
Jamie's an aye, and Tim would be an aye if he was allowed to.
Okay, thank you, everybody. All right, so now let's go move on to the next, the suggested changes. Now, the red notations were taken from the minutes as we approved them from the previous meetings.
This doesn't what I had
Okay,
written.
well, that's why we're here.
Okay,
So where do you want to start, Jamie?
I guess right at the top, right? So we were trying to take out anything that says Board of Selectmen and change it to Select Board.
Thank you.
So the very top. Had there.
There's two versions, so
Okay,
it's the one that says, select board, correct? Not,
Well, no,
that was the.
First one, that is.
in the header, it is Board of Selectmen, because that was where the charge was adopted in 2017. Not the select, it
Correct,
was
but
the
both-
Board of Selectmen,
Both headers are the same. I'm just wondering which document, how to differentiate.
So
not that.
I struck that, like that whole paragraph, like there.
So
were
what we did,
That we
what,
changed
yeah,
from the version that Scott presented. So I'm just really confused because this doesn't reflect what we did. That we spent, an hour and a half.
What are you looking at?
These are my handwritten notes
Yeah.
from the May meeting
This was from Scott's revision?
No, what we all voted on.
Yeah,
that we
but
talked
We
through.
made edits to the baseline.
the
document.
red line document was,
That was the one that Scott had sent us all, and then we talked through it. And,
similar to this.
is there anything in particular?
but like, so.
Yeah.
So this whole paragraph was taken out, but on
So-
this, it's here.
So what I did was, it was. This,
That was a proposed to take it out.
And she wrote
Strike.
strike and wrote a check mark next to it. So I'm confused. It doesn't look like it lines up with what
Right.
happened.
That's what I noticed as well. There was
Okay,
some
so-
leftover stuff that should have been taken out and.
So that strike the entire third paragraph, the committee shall also
Yeah,
consider.
there's a bunch of changes to the second paragraph that didn't make it. And so I'm just,
After that.
okay,
Wait, hold on.
Paragraph
So
purpose.
we don't need a Friends of the Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we already talked about it, Jim. We all voted
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
strike it,
Yeah.
and that's why I put an X. I noticed the same thing.
so the, and the
Okay.
one above it.
So let's start, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
if I can propose. So you made edits to the document. We should go top to bottom?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first notable is to remove the paragraph that starts in the committee shall,
well,
Okay.
there were also some things that were,
but that's the
Yeah.
first edit, is to remove that whole paragraph or no?
no, in this paragraph, there, the second paragraph that starts.
Oh, it starts there. Okay.
Well, all right, start at the top.
Yeah, start. at the top.
Pursuant to the powers of yada, yada, yada.
the committee is.
All right, well, so that's gotta be changed. Board of Selectmen's gotta be select board up there
Yeah, well, it's in red on this one.
on the top though,
One line above.
Yeah, right, I got that one.
Okay.
but not in the header. Because it was the Board of Selectmen.
Actively engaging town residents with feedback, we got that in there. We changed.
Well,
This one has got to be select board.
the committee is charged with recommending for select board's consideration, a proposed routes. Not development plan, proposed routes. Like that was something that we talked about in May and everyone said, yeah, that makes sense. And it's here as a development plan, which is the previous one that was crossed out to say proposed routes.
I think we got roots someplace else. We got it down
Right,
here,
but
but
talked about it here.
I agree. I agree.
So strike a development plan. Or a development plan, strike that and replace it with proposed routes.
Yep.
Route.
For the upper Charles Trail in Hopkinton from the middle. Yep, plural.
Now remember, this is a route, not segments.
No, that's
This
a
says
different term.
routes.
This
That's
is
what we
roots.
discussed in May.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just
Don't worry,
saying-
I'm not adding anything.
No, I'm just saying, is it really plural? Because
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's more than one.
Percent.
several routes.
Well, I think it
2 to 3, it
depends.
says later.
Yeah, but I think as a practical matter,
So,
I'm convinced they're
When
on
you're
not
looking at
three.
the whole
Well,
35
but
mile,
Segments may be different.
no, 8 miles, whatever it's
So-
be, that would be a route. But then we have paths. What are we gonna call
We
these?
spent a lot of time talking
Yeah.
about this and
Well, I'm okay with it.
to go
You
back
okay with
on
that?
it seems really silly.
I was and still
So
am.
what's next after that? So strike development plan, replace with proposed routes in the
Yeah,
second
routes,
line,
plural, that's
second
fine.
paragraph. What do you got next?
Well, it was my kid's first day of school today, so I've been a little busy.
Oh,
So,
They say this is really.
oh, I get that.
and then again, Board of Selectmen, right?
Yep. Sort of got all these.
Property rights, is there maybe a different version or something? It just seems like,
Committee may request and advocate for Community Preservation Act funds. That's the same. And then we took out this is.
so after route location, we had a period,
Yeah,
not this unassociated infrastructure.
Right.
Subject to that, oh, no, okay.
that wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a clerical error, because you had it in this one.
Yeah.
We try to apply the changes to the wrong document.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
no,
I'm,
no.
that's what I'm wondering if. the
Yeah, but-
changes-
How many things do you have?
No, let's just go through this because then I can.
Throw out
it's
So
a different-
I started looking at
Okay.
it this evening because it's, like I said, it's the first day of school today.
yeah, so this was here.
And then here, the committee shall
Routes.
not prioritize identifying and applying for available, not and receive any, right? Applying for available state, federal, or private grants, which may become, and then we spent a long time talking about this. So instead of may become available, we said may be awarded. Like that was,
Yeah, so Jamie, excuse me, Jamie, so I think what happened was the original edits you made, Jane.
Yeah.
To the other document were made, because that paragraph, as you're seeing it is in the other version. And then when you change, I
Yeah,
think-
some stuff got lost in the.
so you
last-
changed it to an older
There.
version, but didn't change it on
Yeah, so it's in the
So-
version that Jane did before
the
this.
first version, and we just make a couple tweaks to that, we
Okay.
might be better off.
Yep.
So, you have this.
Where's the right one? Or like, do you know where the location of, or
It was in
It was
the
the
email
email.
of the 23rd before the edits
The
made.
version before this one.
23rd?
Correct.
But it's there on that one that you're referring to.
No, okay, I don't have
So
anything.
including, prioritize, identify, and apply for available.
I don't think I don't have the one that, I only have this one.
Looks like this?
Did you ever see that one? That was sent out the first round, about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I've made some changes.
Scott has it.
The one
Yeah,
from
I'll
the tab.
forward to-
Yes.
So if you look,
Yeah.
Scott, the red line there, the red
This
paragraph,
also still.
that
has
includes all the stuff
stuff.
Jamie's
Yeah, that's what I'm
talking.
saying.
Send us an email on the
Oops.
23rd that has
Yeah, no, it's all on there.
Yes, you're on it.
by
So
forward.
is Jamie. It was sent at 11:08 AM on the 23rd.
Okay, but then this one still has the committee shall also,
Engaging town
Right,
residents'
right.
feedback. Planning
Talking
design.
about, the committee may request and advocate.
the committee shall prioritize identifying and applying. Is that where you were?
Yeah, I'm trying to find where you are.
Yeah, down here.
It's the second to last.
We shall prioritize.
Identifying and applying for available state, federal or private grant. Like we, like
Yep,
this,
yep, 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 yep.
Should we,
like, how do we make this
should we
better?
adjourn and get
It
a,
has to get
new
revised.
version?
It just has to get redone.
we've done it so many times.
Well, it's just gotta get typed up so that it's right. Prioritize, identify, and apply for. Apply for. State,
So you do have this email.
maybe, which may be awarded,
23rd.
but you can't apply for things that are gonna be,
So we literally had this conversation. I just like,
yes, but can I just point out something?
yeah.
I'm looking at this now, and I see all the changes that we talked about, they're right here. But we had changed, the second paragraph, last couple of lines. Apply for available state, federal, or private grants which may be awarded for the accomplishment of its. We're applying for grants that are available, not awarded, because we're not awarded yet.
We wouldn't apply if they're unavailable.
Right.
It's grammatically incorrect. It would be available, not awarded.
It's not grammatically incorrect. It's just.
Sure it is.
Well, CPC awards, but we have to apply for them first.
Yeah, you don't get the award until after you
And
apply.
it's the same for the state
Right?
and the federal. You have to apply for
You
it.
don't get the award until you apply.
Worded.
So to say that is which are available, the grant programs that are available will apply for.
It says apply for available state, federal, or private grants. That's what it says.
Yeah, it already
Apply
has.
for
it.
available.
That's what it says now. But-
No, that's what the update is. That's the edit.
Okay, because it has maybe awarded, and that's what Jamie was
Yeah,
saying.
no, but if you go further up on that sentence, it says the committee will prioritize, identify, and apply for available.
So available is up
So
there.
they start being available,
Oh,
you
I see, okay, for,
may be awarded. And it may accomplish our mission, hopefully.
okay, I got it. I was missing that available.
It's-
So I'll keep track of the changes. So it's.
Is there should I just edit this document in Google Docs that says UCTC charge suggested changes 824 electronically? Would that, okay. Cause I was like,
Better than doing it by pen.
this is getting real frustrating.
Yeah.
Please, Jan, save us from.
Okay, so you're gonna revise these
I'm.
draft charge.
She's going to do it as we go along.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, could you put in the header, the current date? After
Yeah, put a header with today's
revised
rev
or
date
proposed
revised.
or revised on X date or the 28th today?
Just right today.
Today. Thanks. Sam.
Always applying. You are here.
What about tomorrow's?
Right tomorrow.
But then tomorrow it'll be today. Okay, so wait, so I'm gonna say. Oh, I really want to do such, yeah, okay, I'll go in suggesting, okay.
What are you doing in Google Meet?
Hmm?
Were you doing it in Google Meet or Google?
Google Docs.
Yeah, okay. I'm just matching it up with this and this. What's in here,
Mhm.
I think is what's largely not in here, like these things are all in here. It's not.
Except there's some things like the 501c3 I thought we got rid of too.
Yep.
Where?
Well, yeah, we got rid of the whole paragraph.
Yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's,
Oh, it's been work cooperative, like a work cooperative, anyway.
That's okay.
So then this paragraph.
It's not in
here,
our charge. You don't have to.
Excluding Jim. So here, if there's anything that's not in here, but it looks like everything
The-
is in here.
Everything, but we added the last one.
Yep. Uh, Yep. Yeah. Change. Yeah, you change this, good.
So Jamie, you still making the changes to purpose?
yes,
Okay. When you're done with that, we'll maybe pause.
exactly the ones that
Yeah.
we did last time.
Yeah, just put that time there when we were talking.
Yeah, that's the,
Let's be there, you know.
Wilfred,
Yeah.
he was,
Oh, he's a trail guy.
the trail and
He's the house, right? Okay, that's what it was. Oh, I write it down.
Oh, I see. And then taking out the committee paragraph, taking that out. And then down to the Upper Charles Trail shall be a multi-use and active and passive recreational path.
For all
And
abilities.
then
We talked about the, right,
instead of, so a recreational path. And then it says available to and accommodating.
All abilities, correct? Something to that effect?
well, that's.
that was added later on.
Of all abilities.
Because that was added as a separate thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to have it twice though.
Yeah.
And that's what we discussed last time.
Yeah, and it's also in.
Yeah, right. Then the
Okay, and so we spent a lot of time talking about this last time, but we struck that will incorporate the Hopkinton Center Trail. Right?
No, we did, I was outvoted on that. I
Yeah.
don't agree, but I think that the majority voted to keep that in,
Yeah,
to be honest. Huh? You and I didn't, yeah.
Not a fan. Okay.
So it wasn't majority, but
Disagree.
sticking with it.
We don't need to try.
Are we using state monies? Are we using the trail grants to build that?
Already been
Are we using the trail grants to build that? So-
Center Trail.
Oh, no, Center Trail, where is it?
Well, we put improvements into it,
I
CPC.
Construction?
No,
I know.
no, that was already built.
And then here, the routes and development plan shall outline the community's vision for the creation of the, instead of path, we said trail, and produce recommendations for the board's consideration that align with the aspirations of the community.
Mhm.
The development plan shall also outline, and then here we have something that
Oh, yeah. This is
expected
something.
costs to construct and
Correct.
maintain the trail, as well as potential funding sources such as
Can you say that again a little slower?
projected costs
Yep.
to construct and maintain the trail as stallion, the trail, as well as potential funding sources
Mhm.
such as federal, state, and local funding opportunities to assist with the construction and maintenance of the trail.
Mhm.
Okay, and then, so here, this is, there's two, Jane, can you see this? So there's two different.
Share your screen. Oh, no, you're not dialed in, right?
Yeah, I'm not,
The last one was an added bullet. They're the same.
well, but so we need to strike some, like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't want to have two versions.
That's
here.
what I tried to do in this shorter version here. I just added it.
So the red seems to be closer to be.
Okay, the red thing, so I'm gonna highlight this and strike it. And so now I'm,
See what we're doing, Jim?
Yeah.
There's this and this are repetitive, so.
Oh, except the
is
red one,
edited,
the
so
red
we're
is,
Getting rid of the
yeah.
repetitive version.
Yeah, but I'm not looking at that one because it's this superseded, but,
No, it's right, it's fine.
so you're back to looking at the one with all the red paragraphs?
Not the original version, the one that Jane sent. This is the one that Jane sent. Jane's first round of changes.
Shouldn't have been worked.
Yeah, that's okay. Carry on. I'll see the one.
Okay, just want to make sure you're.
I think you're talking about this one here.
no longer the last bullet.
Yes, the original.
Yeah, that's the
paragraph.
one, correct.
The original paragraphs are still there.
Correct.
Operations to accomplish its purpose,
Yeah, it's.
accomplish the mission to build the trail in its entirety.
So it's a change.
Making progress here.
And then here we have, again, we have two versions of committee procedure.
Okay,
So there's one that's in black that says the committee shall elect a chair and vice chair annually. The committee shall comply with requirements of OML and public records law and the
That's the original.
two.
yeah, that's the simple
Repetitions
revision, so
there.
two sentences, that was it. All the rest in red is what we added.
And then
I think we strike the black font and
whole
keep the
black.
red font. Because the open meeting law also is.
Yeah, but that's not that whole thing is not a change. That whole paragraph's not completely.
Well, but it was
Rewriting.
retyped by someone in red in
Okay.
this document.
Can we retype
So
that?
all he's saying is this is not the same as this, but anyway.
Yeah, because we expanded on it at a meeting,
Right.
but I don't recall.
And all the committee meetings shall provide an opportunity
Right, that's all
for the
new.
public to speak. That's all new.
Yeah, this is
Black
correct. This-
is the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah, the red does
We
read
didn't
correctly,
strike that. We
Okay,
kept that.
great.
my recollection.
Yeah, so that should be fine.
Well, again, I'm looking at this one, which we had it there, but
And then we changed composition from 9 to 7. Members.
no.
And this says 9 to 7, but I see 8.
No, 5, 6,
So-
one designee from Concom.
Okay, yeah, this doesn't have the,
CMC and 5 members at large.
Yeah, who are we missing here?
okay, this is another one where, okay.
And that's on that one,
So it should be 6 at
So
large.
because this was wrong.
is it accurate that this in black should all be struck
Right.
because
This
it's,
is correct, wherever it is. Here.
so all of this is.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
So
here.
that's not correct.
What's
We
wrong?
voted to have alternate members.
No, I think we were pretty, I
Take
thought,
away the
yeah.
alternate,
I
everybody.
listened to the recording. No, I went back to listen to the recording on
We
that.
wanted to
I
have,
had a question about that
we
because
wanted to have alternative members.
I actually
alternate
suggested
members.
originally to strike them and you guys talked me into keeping them. We voted. So
So,
that's the irony.
so a 7-member committee plus
It's not my memory.
2 alternates?
No, including 2, I thought.
No.
You can't do that
struck
because
the
then we
alt-
only have 5.
7
Yeah.
full-time members, 2 being from Conservation Commission and 1 from the Trails Coordination Committee, and the 5 remaining are at large.
So does anybody else have a better memory than me then?
Well, I guess more importantly, do we want to stick with that where we want to discuss it again, alternate members?
I remember Eric.
Personally, I don't see any point in having
Well,
alternate. members.
Eric's comment is what swayed me away from my original recommendation to take them away, honestly, which was it's a training ground.
Away.
It's a training ground. Remember Eric talked about it. We talked about it and I thought
So was
we
HCAM.
were on board with keeping it. What's that?
So is HCAM,
So is HCAM what?
a training ground, if you want to watch the meetings.
Matt's going to become the next member.
Yeah. Matt, you still there?
Um,
Mary Ellen?
Yeah.
Steve Jamie, I said, how do you feel about striking the alternate, And you said,
I do remember the discussion. I
Yeah.
don't remember the result.
I think we should go back to the tape on that, or, I mean, if,
Well,
because
let's-
Eric's not here,
Yeah.
we could do it.
why don't we just do it again? How do people feel?
Yeah.
I
Well, I'll-
would like to get rid of them.
I don't
because
see any
it's-
point in having alternate members.
I don't think there's
I
confusion.
mean, it may be a training ground, but it's also frustrating because like these guys are here.
Listen, on my original first attempt, just to get the discussion going,
Yeah,
I struck the alternate members. So you're.
I don't see
You're
any
not-
reason.
you're not selling me on that. I'm just saying it's.
Well, I don't see
Again,
any reason to
ironic
have
that
them.
it's-
If we can't put a quorum together with 7 full members, then we got other things, right? And are there any other boards or any other committees in town that have alternate members?
not that I'm
I
aware.
think the historic commission that I'm on has an alternate member.
I could, I'm not.
I think we have an alternate member.
Yeah, we should,
I believe.
With how many full-time?
that's,
Full.
but we can welcome anybody.
And that's sort of the question, right?
Purposes
We
anyway.
got 7 members.
No, I know. There's a fair number of members, yeah.
So I would say that
I-
I don't think we need them.
Okay, so let's go around the table. You don't think,
I don't think we need them. I think it's.
you don't think we need, them. Ken?
We need them either. However, I would say maybe we should encourage people who want to be members to
Yeah,
sit with us as opposed to
yeah.
in the boondocks or something like that. I don't know.
I think we, yeah,
We've always welcomed everybody, right?
as
Used
far
to
as
be
I-
formal.
some people have refused to come up to the table.
It's not the two alternate members.
That's up to them.
Tim, how do you feel about alternates?
Find some value in being an official member that even though I can't vote, gets to listen and absorb. And I feel responsible for showing up as opposed to somebody who's just being a guest, like in the audience and being allowed in.
So you don't think?
We always say like, oh, we'll let audience, but like I get to, like, when we're not voting, I do get to say my piece as it goes around. So there is some value to that. And Eric was pretty convincing to me also last time when he said, you know, it's a really good training ground in that
Oh, okay.
it does test your mettle a little bit because I do have to make it to these meetings and I don't always feel like it's the best use of my time. But I wouldn't want to find that out after I've been appointed a member. And so being that alternate member is giving me some experience, but and I definitely don't like to redo votes in the next meeting just because the people changed. So I'm a little scared about that.
Which is short of.
Yeah, no, I know, but right. Well,
Well, one alternate gets to vote here.
it's just
And this is
we have
the-
alternates voting on whether we alternates can vote.
But you know, it's a little deja vu because I remember you said something similar after Eric's and it started to sway me because I think there is benefit of an expanded voice at the table.
But
That other comment you said.
right,
Yeah.
but obviously, I'm not being a very good member if I don't know how to vote. So I need to go back and
I
create.
guess we're on the same page.
Well,
Let's go back with what it was. You're saying you went back and looked and it was, we voted to.
I
still
thought we
have
did.
two alternates.
I think we should go back to the tape. I tried to listen to it while I was
All right,
multitasking.
well, worst case, if you do that, if you leave it in, then the next meeting, when we actually go to try to approve this again, we'll have more members and we can,
well, Jamie's going through that. I'll see if I can find it in the printout.
So, okay.
The transcript's available on the website, it said
HCAM recording is available for that meeting,
on the website.
on HCAM, yeah. On YouTube.
Let's see.
Thursday.
Yeah, I'll go back.
It's a long one and hard to find, Jim. I'll warn you like you're in the
Toward
meeting.
the end, I think. Well, no, not necessarily.
3/4 of the way in about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that maybe we just leave that as an open item. I like Jim's idea, just leaving the alternate members in or out and we can just
Well, that would change,
finalize it on the.
that changed the
final vote.
composition and from
Oh, then
7
it's 9.
to 9.
It'll be 7 full plus 2 alternates. The alternates would not be voting members. though,
Right.
Because that's silly. You might as well make them full members if they're voting. So you'd have 2 alternate non-voting members appointed by the select board?
Uh,
Where are they coming from?
Select, board-
It's either them or us, right?
select board.
So we would have to add to
We did
that.
vote to not have them, we voted to not have them vote.
Yeah, right, that would be silly to have alternate members voting, just,
Um,
you might as well just make them full members.
But do they vote when?
When there's not a quorum, but that's,
There's not a quorum.
right,
Not if there's just
So
one
tonight-
person missing.
after what?
Like, if a full member doesn't show up over and over again, I think that's my, if we were to keep alternates. I feel like if a full member doesn't show up and an alternate does, the alternate should get to vote.
yeah, I believe there's something like 5 absences or something like that in a row, or some rule. I don't remember the exact rule.
Like any meeting, like if an alternate is showing up,
I don't show up, you want an alternate to be able to vote for me?
Well, we don't have,
Proxy, no matter what the quorum is?
some committees
No,
do.
absolutely not.
I mean, that's, if there's an alternate, isn't that in theory?
No, in theory, it is an alternate votes when there's not a quorum. Not they vote when there's one person out.
I do remember this conversation.
Yeah.
But
I think it's silly to just, so that means that even if we had Eric here, you guys, and you wouldn't be able to vote as alternates. You would vote because Bob's not here and you would vote because Eli's not here? Even though we already had a quorum?
It's only in the case of this.
That's what
It's
you're
not-
saying, right?
yes, that is what I'm saying.
No, I think that's silly. Come on.
I've been here for,
Again, make it 9 full members.
Jamie has probably the best, well, up there ranking in the highest attendance, but no, I think that's not even on the, I don't think we're looking to edit the document to include it, so maybe we can move on.
So
Maybe we can.
keep it in for now.
so are we keeping the, okay, I'm in the composition.
Yeah,
The committee shall have 7 full members who
members.
are Hopkinton resident. Are we putting in the and 2 alternates?
no.
That's a separate item down below.
Who are Hopkinton residents and appointed by the select board. Preference shall be given to ensure that at least one member of UCTC has civil engineering expertise. One member has.
It's information technology, it's not information.
Yeah, why, I didn't get that when I read that again. Isn't that a public relations thing?
What?
I don't know, the whole information, communication.
No, that's a typo. It should be information technology or technology.
And then
Experience in information.
I mean, people call it
Technology.
information technology,
Technology.
IT, or I would say just call it technology. Again, it's preference. It's not mandatory.
Right.
and then what?
If there were 2 equal candidates and one had a lot of experience with technology and websites and things like that, and we have that need, the membership can recommend to the select board, or the select board can show preferential, but
Right.
It's
But doing
more
marketing for
guide- it's
EMC is a
guidance.
little bit different than marketing for us, right?
yeah. It's just guidance. It's not,
After the IT line,
Oh, it's a
drop the
role.
communication and marketing experience. And and go on to liaison members, is that what you recommend?
I would say you could strike the marketing.
Okay.
I think communications is not a bad message to send,
Yeah, but it's
Agree.
the verbiage thing and communication
and communications
skills.
plural. It's an occupation or
No, I guess
Something
communication's all right.
Yeah, because that's one of the big things that we're criticized for. I don't agree with it, but.
Yeah.
So it would be information insert technology,
yeah. Slash,
Mark,
or then it would be and or, well.
that's it.
yeah, it could be and or comma, yeah, and or communications with a capital C, because we're talking about a vocation, correct? Or skill set or experience.
Liaison members are the conservation and the TCMC. That's the
Right.
liaison.
Yeah, we're not
And
there
say
yet.
communications, capital C with an S.
I don't see why it's just capital C unless you
Because it's-
IT, the capital
It should be.
I and T.
You know, IT should be capitalized.
Okay, just make it consistent. It often is, that's for
I mean, I
sure.
don't capitalize engineering every time I write it. I only write it when it's a title.
Depends on whether it's a noun, title, or verb
Well, it's
or,
a profession, but it's not,
And
right.
then are we, so.
Oh,
if
yeah,
it's-
but
if-
this is just,
Wait a minute, Jamie wants to
Sure.
say something.
If it's
Should be-
IT and or
That case.
communications, are we taking out and or marketing experience?
Yes.
following your logic,
Members,
I want
one-
civil engineering
TCMC.
capitalized. I don't, because I don't think it's appropriate to capitalize it. That's what you IT people.
All right, I think I'm at the, do you want me to read back the composition paragraph?
Thank you, yes.
The committee shall have 7 full members who are Hopkinton residents and appointed by the select board. All members shall serve at the pleasure of the select board. Preference shall be given to ensure that at least, if it, well, whatever. That at least one member of the UCTC has civil engineering expertise, one member has experience in information technology and or communications, and 2 liaison members, one from the Conservation Commission and one from the TCMC.
Good, got it.
All right, the 2 alternate members is already in the first line, right?
That is not
That's
there,
not-
like.
That's not
so-
here in this.
Yeah, that's not in this version that,
Okay.
that. Are we leaving that out?
We had it below the membership shall be as follows. At the bottom of that, we had 2 alternate non-voting members.
Yeah.
In parentheses, non-voting or something like that.
That struck.
Okay, that, yeah, so membership shall be as follows: a designee recommended by Concom, a designee recommended by the Trails Coordination and Management Committee, 5 members at large, which I fixed because it said 3. Length
Yeah.
of term, full members shall be appointed by the select board for staggered 3-year terms, and then this says alternate members shall be appointed by the select board for a staggered 3-year term, so
That should be crossed out.
that's coming out.
Yeah.
Length of term, members shall be appointed by the select board for staggered 3-year terms. Oh, I see what happened. That was the thing where there were 2 paragraphs of the same thing.
Mhm.
Okay. Select board reporting.
This is an add. This is a complete new.
Okay, I'm gonna put that's all caps. Let me fix that. The UCTC shall be responsible for providing a semi-annual report to the select board, no less than semi-annually. And be comprised of a forward-looking objective.
It's not a good sentence.
No,
It's really not,
I would strike no less than semi-annually.
right? 'cause
To
it
start.
says-
Yeah.
Well,
Right
the,
then.
the second,
Providing-
after the word select board, it says it again, semi-annually report, semi-annually.
Oh, yeah, it does.
You're responsible for providing a semi-annual report to the select board
Right.
comprised of a forward-looking objective, decisions made, which doesn't have to be capitalized. Oh, I guess it,
But that's
No, it's
kind
a
of got a weird
semi-
sentence.
It's a really weird sentence.
yeah,
Forward-looking objective.
I think they could be
decisions.
commas
Yeah,
and no capitals.
I don't know, treasurer? Come on, now there's a real title. That is an appointment.
Yeah, that could be capitalized. No,
Treasurer needs to
I
be
was looking at-
capitalized, but that's a,
in
I was saying
the
decisions could be
it
capitalized.
can be capitalized too.
Yeah.
treasurer's report.
A Forward-looking objectives.
Perceived risks and challenges. And any specific, okay, do you want me to read it again?
Please.
Select board reporting. The UCTC shall be responsible for providing a semi-annual report to the select board and be comprised of a forward-looking objective, decisions made in the prior half year, treasurer's report, perceived risks and challenges, and any specific request of the select board.
Period.
Sure.
Now I'm not clear. That's all one sentence
Yeah.
and decisions is part of that same sentence?
Yeah.
It is all one
It's a
sentence.
long sentence, but you know,
We can make
it's
it
a
a
list.
Okay. that's correct.
list, but I think it would take up a lot of space.
I,
Yeah,
can
no,
I make one small suggested change? Decisions made since the prior report.
Oh, I said.
Since the prior report,
The prior.
instead of prior half year. In case it ends up being whatever, I don't know. You never know with scheduling or something.
Decisions made since the prior report,
Yeah.
comma, treasurer.
Okay, so there's basically the comprised thing, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections.
6 sections.
Yeah.
6.
That's okay.
Challenges.
Okay, so long as we agree that they're parallel, I mean, that's all.
Yeah.
Just.
No,
There's 5 items.
yes, all those things need to be included in the semi-annual report.
Okay.
And if there's obviously no request from the select board, then you don't put that in there. Or you put in that there were no requests from the select board.
The charge,
So
same,
is,
except there's a couple of ads.
were these things struck? From the paper copy that I had from May, liaison members need not be current members of the committee or commission recommending them as liaisons. They simply need to be committed to bi-directional communication with demonstrated periodic updates via agenda discussions or other means to their respective committee and or commission. We want that in there. That was there in May. So I'm just reading off the paper copy from May.
I don't
I
remember.
don't remember that, what the.
I don't remember what the decision was. I don't think we had much discussion on it. I don't recall.
I feel like we.
Where was that? Where do you see that?
It's not in either of the versions you have.
On the
there.
paper copy, and I didn't have any notes that we struck it or not.
Strike it if we don't feel that it's adding anything.
Can you read it again to see if it?
Yep. Liaison members need not be current members of the committee or commission recommending them as liaisons. Period. They simply need to be committed to bidirectional communication with demonstrated periodic updates via agenda discussions or other means to their respective committee and or commission.
I think.
I remember this, I remember discussing it.
I
That
think I know-
first sentence, people disagreed with the first sentence.
You know
that
why?
they should be members. That's what people said.
Because it's not up to us to decide who Concom sends us.
I'm not a
Concom picks-
liaison from Concom. I'm a designee from Concom. I'm a full member of this, not a liaison that I might be.
Well, we're calling your role.
We're calling-
We have a select board liaison. That select board liaison doesn't
To
get the
get
vote.
back to what I was trying to say is it's up to Concom to pick who they want, and it doesn't have to be a member of Concom.
That's correct.
Concom can pick somebody
That's correct.
else,
So for the,
but it's up to them.
yeah,
So
already
I
worded
think
that.
that's why we took it out,
So-
because
so
it's
if I
not up
may-
to us.
through the chair, so I agree. I recall the conversation. What I would suggest to the group is we strike the first sentence, even though I believe in it, but we voted, that's for the purposes of not having to rehash any discussions. Strike the first sentence and just say liaisons will be responsible for the following, like, just to make sure that the
We say,
liaisons are responsible to know that their role is for bidirectional communication. That's all.
and that's fine.
So one problem, we don't have liaison defined anywhere.
We do, we called them, members.
So could we make it?
Oh, designate.
Yeah, maybe we should just change the verb, the
Good-
noun.
good.
Must be
Good
committed
question.
or are committed, will be committed.
Yeah, so are we calling them town committee designees? What do you want to call them?
Sounds pretty good. Well, right here, that's just two, conservation and
All right, so,
the TCMC.
you could insert after Conservation Commission, you could put HDC in parentheses. And under,
That's what
and that way you could just refer to it as HDC and TCMC. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so yeah, so then you could say the TCMC and,
TC,
Commission designee
HTC, right.
are responsible for two-way communication. That's
Yes.
basically what you're saying to say.
Where do you want that? So do you want that in this?
strike the first sentence
Yeah,
and then
designees will be committed to bidirectional communication with demonstrated periodic.
Kim's suggesting to be more specific, which I like, saying the HCC and TCMC members
Right.
will be responsible
Right.
for bidirectional communication.
Or
Something
The HCC and TCMC designees.
designees, yeah.
Okay.
By what, by what? By what kind of communication?
Bidirectional.
Two-way.
Bidirectional, two-way.
Well, we do that. I do that. I don't know. Any other designees here?
And you know what?
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Coming from you, that means a lot. But I go to Concom and tell them what we're doing.
Good.
But now I guess I have to,
Right.
But it's if we get a new
Like
member
approve it.
from, as a designee, they need to know what the responsibility is.
okay, cool. All right, I'll go with that.
Now we're down to the charge. And these are duties. We
Oh.
really didn't do much except we added to the second bullet.
Was an active member of UCTC shall also be voted by UCTC majority to serve as a voting member of TCMC? Was that, did we like cross?
Which one is
Cross
that?
that out.
We didn't put
because-
that in.
We didn't cross it out because it's not really not our responsibility.
Yeah, that's really up to, is TCMC revising their charge?
I just didn't take any.
TCMC is revising their charge, Jamie? Oh, do you know? Who knows that? Nobody knows
I
that.
don't believe they are.
Well, I'm wondering if they put in their new charge.
No,
that
they
would have
haven't
a
gone
designee.
before the select board yet. I think they're going to.
So we don't know if they're gonna have a
No, but. this is our-
bidirectional full member. I
Well,
love that, bidirectional. You kids with your new words.
Thanks for calling me a kid. So I think James right. I don't think we really changed many of these last bullet points. I don't recall. As a
so
re-
added to the second bullet point.
We did, so the first bullet point was changed. Instead of guide creation, we had guide design of recommended trail and the create, like,
Okay, design
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay,
recommended trail.
so it's sort of tying it back to the first paragraph or,
yeah.
okay.
Recommended trail and the creation of a development plan for the Upper Charles Trail. ensure that the development plan reflects the community's aspirations, including, okay.
Should we just say persons with disabilities? Do we need to suggest?
Well, someone's physical, but I don't,
No, I don't like that at all, because
Right.
there's a lot of,
Right.
Yeah, okay.
that's a really.
I don't know where that
strange
Yeah.
came from, but there
Yeah.
was,
I don't know what's the proper.
I don't think it's grammatically correct either.
Yeah.
thing. It's not- So,
so let's change.
so I'll
So-
ensure that the development plan reflects the community's aspirations. I'm taking out what's there.
I
And
don't,
then here we had.
doesn't go there.
A, we had including accessibility for all users of the path.
I like it.
Including persons.
Where was that? That's up
That's in the very
earlier. Okay, so it
heated here.
I
or
do,
no?
I think it's very important.
Okay.
doesn't really go with that sentence. The community's aspirations, including,
Community aspirations.
I think,
okay, but is it the community including the persons or the development plan?
oh, bless you.
It's not the community at all. It's their aspirations. The qualifiers, on the aspirations.
It's included in the developmental plans. That's where you have to develop it.
So
I
that's
understand.
part of the plan. It's not something that's tacked on later, because frequently accessibility is thought of by communities as something that gets added later, like, oh, let's put a ramp, and Hopkinton is better than that. We don't need to think about other members of our community as other.
Right.
They can be part of the conversation.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm asking, is the persons, including persons with physical disabilities, an aspiration or
No,
Not putting that at all.
Say for the-
Jamie has the.
taking it out?
Take the
Okay.
language from the
All right, cool.
previous
All right,
paragraph.
great.
There's neurodiversity, there's things that are not physical.
No, diversity.
Partially.
Is that, yeah?
Yeah.
They're all diverse.
It's a real thing.
Is that like what used to be called mental health or something?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's a different way that the brain works.
I think I got neurodiversity.
You might. A lot of people are undiagnosed.
You figured that out years ago, right?
I do too.
I think medicine try to take care of that.
Not just that.
Okay, so you're going to include the verbiage from before.
Including accessibility for all users of the path.
Yes. Absolutely. And you're right, Jamie. There's a time when we didn't think,
Provide the-
collective we, not including myself, didn't think of that stuff.
And it's a new way of thinking about it. And I think it's, we have the Commission on Disability, we'd be able to.
That said, TCMC doesn't consider that.
I don't think that's true.
Oh,
Not on topic.
oh, it is. Oh, okay.
Are we up to number 3?
Yeah, so 3 was not changed. I had no edits
Right.
before. Is that accurate?
Yeah, we kept it.
Okay.
We got a select board though.
Yep, so I already did a find and replace all of the board of selectmen to selectmen instead of doing it individually. And then we had previously said outline and present 3 Upper Charles Trail route options.
Yeah,
And there was a discussion to make it 2 or 3.
yeah, some are already made.
what
We
it
can't
says.
change.
No, but.
Yeah.
it's on the-
Yeah.
That's the
I
number I'm
was-
on, so I
Yep.
want to
Yep.
make sure I'm updating the document accurately.
We didn't say anything like if possible, if feasible.
Well,
I mean, what happens if there are no.
We do our best.
2 or 3 feet?
The select board's gonna.
Oh, we'll
determine-
do any feasible one, okay.
Yeah. And Jim, I'm demonstrating that I'm balanced here because I'm the one that pushed for 3.
mhm.
You will,
Eric requested 2 and the compromise was 2 or 3. I'm reminding people it's 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
2.5.
We're gonna need to readmit Mary Ellen. She couldn't hear.
Oh.
Oh, okay. How do we do that? Not here.
Yeah.
That's still on the call? It appears so.
Add people.
It's
No,
present.
but that's how,
She has to request to come back.
yeah,
so I just
when,
wanted to
when
check
when
that
she
got-
pops up here.
Yeah.
and
Okay.
How come we can't hear
Yeah,
Matt speak?
I'll keep an eye to admit.
How come Matt can't speak?
Maybe she'll have to go to another meeting.
Muting or.
Mary Ellen, no, she sent me a message that said, did the thing
Okay.
crash?
Oh,
Okay, so we were on bullet point 5, correct?
yeah.
5. Create a development plan for the Upper Charles Trail that serves as an invaluable outside resource to the board and the town throughout the development process.
Should that be select board? Okay.
Gather input from as many Hopkinton residents as possible by reaching out to the community. through a townwide community visioning workshop and by conducting focus groups and surveys. Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Identify federal, state, and local grant funding.
Opportunities.
Okay, there's an and there. Federal, state, and local grant funding opportunities, right? It's not local grant and funding opportunities?
Those are the funding opportunities. Oh, other ones, other funding opportunities?
Well,
Yes.
that's what I'm wondering, because the structure.
And
Those-
federal, state and local grants.
For example, or there might be
All right,
some,
so I'm gonna take out the previous and.
You can take out the word grant.
No, federal, state and local grants is one thing.
Okay.
Comma, and comma, funding opportunities available to both.
Opportunities. Okay,
Although I don't know what a non-governmental entity that is that we're gonna promote getting money for, but. Cause we no longer have the Friends of the Trail. So what non-governmental entity are we gonna?
maybe some business is gonna move into South Street and wanna sponsor a trail,
Leave the door open.
right? That's
would be nice.
possible.
Okay.
I don't know who they are, but they could be here any day.
Okay.
Assist in the construction and maintenance of the Upper Charles Trail.
Mhm.
Number 8, work collaboratively with a nonprofit group for the purpose of maintaining Charles Trail to encourage citizen participation in the use and, should we say resident instead of citizen? I would prefer resident.
Yeah.
Well,
Are people who are not citizens allowed to use it?
Hmm?
Are people who are not citizens allowed to
No,
walk on the
it's-
trail?
it's open to everybody.
Yeah, it's a resident.
You have to be a resident.
yeah, right, that's the.
Be a resident, really.
Some-
As
I don't
opposed to
see-
citizens is a general thing.
That's true, that's true.
Actually, citizens,
I'm residing here for the moment.
I don't get the desire for having in and of the multi-use, though. It's just plain maintenance of. I don't.
yeah, right, there's.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I think that's the,
Just of the.
that's the original version
And,
of the
Alright.
language. Probably.
And,
I took out in and,
in the use and maintenance of the multi-use path.
in the use and maintenance of the multi-use path, done. 9. Conduct public education and outreach on the development plan process. And 10, guide construction of the Upper Charles Trail by working with is this where we should say select board, not just board?
I think so.
Select board, town staff, and other board/committees on design, permitting, funding, and construction.
Yes, and it's structurally correct if you put a comma after that and at the end of 9. With the semicolons are starting it, you need an and at the end. I mean, you need a comma.
Because it's treating it like a list, but we.
Yeah, but you need a comma after the end if you want to do it
So,
correctly.
Okay.
excuse me. So there's one thing after reading this, and Jamie, thank you for facilitating that. That went pretty smoothly. There's no reference in the 10 bullet points to our interaction with the TCMC. We have a member, but is there any collaboration with them?
The TCMC member has to be bi-directional. So there's our interaction. There's our interaction, right?
That's the,
And as,
I'm just raising it. I think it would be helpful to put, to make it more, explicit that
What?
we're collaborating.
but we're not collaborating.
We should. That's
What
my-
we're gonna collaborate about. Those trails are completely different.
Understood, but they need to be aware of them. They need to weigh in, because if they're creating a trail that's gonna conflict.
Do you think that's gonna happen in reality?
And rules, but
What's that?
are you gonna put everybody we should?
Sorry?
We need to work with the rec department. We need to work with the.
No, I know, but
Concom. We need to work with, do you want to list everyone, the school?
one of,
We need to collaborate with everybody.
not only the residents at town meeting, but, you know, TCMC and others have expressed interest, and you met with the select board and they found a desire to have you and the TCMC get together. I'm just suggesting that being more explicit.
I think that's the way that it is, but I think putting it in here would not be a good idea.
So,
Now, if TCMC puts similar language in theirs, then we might include in ours, but I'm assuming they're gonna,
TCMC would like to
No, I understand, but it's doubtful they would put that in, say,
So.
collaborate with us, and there's really no, to me, it's two separate things. Except that TCMC takes over whatever becomes the Upper Charles Trail,
Yeah, they're going
for the
to,
maintenance and so forth, right?
it's going to be turned over to them.
So in
With no
that respect,
collaboration.
Do need, well, so in that respect, as
That's
part
what
of our
puts a lot of pressure on the designee to make sure the.
Hey, we didn't have it before, but now look where we're sitting now. We didn't have collaboration with any other Trails Committee, and look where we sit. We sit because, are we being recorded?
Yes,
and that should
absolutely are.
affect
We sitting here because the Trails Coordination Management Committee made I'm not gonna try to characterize it.
Thank you.
But we're sitting here because of something that some other people did and not because of a lack of collaboration. You know what I mean?
I'm just
I'm
suggesting,
absolutely opposed to putting any collaboration with.
So right now, it actually, item 10 says, working with the
Yeah.
board, town staff
Yeah.
and other.
The
board-
board and
That's right.
committees.
That's right.
We can.
So if it's not exclude anybody.
well, that's why I said it on number 10, maybe
Leave it.
explicit about saying,
The other board.
Well, to Scott's
Like
point,
TCMC.
to
I don't-
Tim's point, I think we would have to.
well,
List, we could.
I don't want to be like,
I would not say such as, or for example, it would leave it the way it is.
I am saying a little bit that we need to collaborate with everybody, or lots of
I'm
people.
fine with it.
We do specific.
Which we are.
If you were gonna say we need to we want to collaborate with specifically the the other,
TCMC, that's what I'm suggesting, because there's two trails
what?
committees in this town.
right, but what?
No, there's
What do you
three.
want to collaborate?
Yeah,
The Trails Club.
but they're not
Trails
doing the
Club,
same
that's
thing.
On a committee.
But they're not doing the same thing. We're not doing this.
Understood.
with them.
Understood, John, understood.
So,
But like, for instance, when we're
But the paving company
discussing the
and might
maintenance of
collaborate
our
with
trail.
the town maintenance.
Right, so we mentioned in here that we need to make recommendations on the maintenance of the trail and stuff. That seems to me that we need to do that in collaboration.
Correct. And at that time, we would pull them in.
So if you were gonna make any reference to them, that's where I would make the reference.
So you're coming around.
Well, no, it's the same thing if we were going to take the trail through part of one of the,
Conservation
or the
area.
town parks or recreation, we would have to collaborate with the Parks and Rec.
But that's explicit. We already have the Conservation Commission explicitly stated here to work.
as a member,
Is that designee?
But
we
we
don't-
also have the.
But we also have it referenced earlier on.
we have a designee of the TCMC who's bi-directional, so we have, I'm using that all the time. And honey, are you on your way home or are you bi-directional? Sorry, Scott.
It's,
Gotta have fun, man.
I didn't make the word up.
I know, I know. I know.
If you're gonna use it a lot, I wish I had patented it or whatever you're doing.
It's in the common,
Copyright it or something.
it's in the public domain.
Yeah, too bad. All right, well, I said my piece, so
So
we've beaten this into the ground, the whole thing for quite a
Yeah,
bit. So
thank you, Jamie, for doing that.
my feeling would be just leave it as other boards and committees, and then we obviously take comment from whoever it is.
Right.
And not specify, if you specify one, specify them all, and you get in trouble for trying to include everything you can think of and not including somebody else.
And we've already got.
I would say, yeah, I agree, historic,
Report,
yeah.
Commission. So are we done?
So I think that's it. Now, Jamie, do you want to send that to me and then I'll send it out to everybody?
You just shared it with everybody.
I shared the live document with only the people in this room.
Okay,
But I could share the edit, like the line edit version and the clean version to Jane. So that she can send it to everyone.
So when, are we gonna?
we don't have to get together again to vote on that.
Are we gonna
Can we do
have a
electronically
Google
through
Doc?
email or?
I want to talk about though, if we're done with
Rather
this,
have
we
it
gotta
typed
move
on
on
my
to
phone.
something else.
Not like screwing around with this thing.
Do you want me to save it as a Word document?
Just in case. Easier to change.
As long as I don't have to poke it, inspect the Google place in order to find it, I'm happy.
I look, I'd search Upper Charles
Easiest to
Trail
do.
emails.
For anything else, then it is to find
So,
Google Doc.
If everyone is comfortable with this, I think we went over it word by word.
Yep.
So we're good with that now. You want to vote on it,
Should we look at it first?
What?
on this document with the final draft that we did?
Suppose.
We went over it word by word. Okay, so the next thing we should discuss is the select board would like to hear from us. They put a tentative date on their agenda
Oh.
on upcoming events for September, either it's the 17th or the 19th.
17th.
Is it the
Tuesday.
17th? So, I can do a summary of or somebody can do a summary of, the changes we're suggesting for this document. I'm sure they're going to want to know, maybe what is it that you think that we should advise them of besides this? This is the only thing they asked for. We give them anything else, we give them what we are, where we are, what's holding us up.
If I may?
Yeah.
Madam Chair. If we need to remind them of anything that we've submitted 10 years ago when they suspended us, that is what we've accomplished or that kind of thing, then maybe we would submit that to refresh the memory. We have a couple new members, a couple new select people that may not be aware of what was discussed previously and that won't, go look at the minutes. So should we take whatever we submitted from before and resubmit it? We had testimony.
Well, we had the annual town meeting that,
Yeah, no, I mean, from the select board. We met after annual town meeting, we met with the select board,
we did.
right? And, that brought them up to speed with our defense.
You want me to do a little brief
lost.
history or not? Do you think?
What about funding? What about we have outstanding funding?
No, we don't.
I would recommend myself a forward-looking approach, but not a backward-looking approach in that. Instead of saying, here was this big fight that happened, right? Saying, here's where we are right now. Here's where we suggest the charge be.
Here's
Here's
what's gonna
what the next
change.
step that the board needs to do.
Yeah, okay. What about,
It's part like, this is what we think the board's gonna look at next. And just leave it at that and like, don't. I don't think the town cares anymore because they've gone.
so the other thing,
Still talked about it and comments at select board.
so what I would add to that maybe is we have money outstanding, we have an outstanding award from CPC. Or what was it, 40,000 change?
Done with that or?
We can't spend
We
it.
can't
So, but I
spend it
think we need to
because-
point out to the select board that we have that money, it's been awarded.
Is that for segment
If we
one?
don't use it, it could get pulled back by CPC.
Is that the segment one?
Correct.
Okay. I guess there was a separate award, I think, to a different group that was working on finding a more feasible.
That was TCMC.
And did that ever go anywhere?
No, it didn't. As a matter of fact, I think we should point that out because that's kind of a hindrance for us. Right? Part of what brought this whole thing up was this alternate route. But as far as anybody knows, not a thing has been done about an alternate route. So when let's say we're put back together, we're reconstituted, whatever the hell it is. We can't go forward because somebody already has that money. Somebody was awarded, CPC money was awarded TCMC to look at that development route. CPC told, the chair of TCMC that he cannot spend a penny of that money. He will not get reimbursed for a penny of it unless it's for the entire thing. Don't come back and say Dale Danahy has said, we'll have access to this parcel way the hell out here when you haven't resolved the biggest issue is Gorman. So unless the advocates can get the whole thing,
Right.
they can't spend anything. This is from CPC standpoint. We will not let them spend any of it.
So anyway, so back on topic. Or the,
So I think we should bring that up though. Where is this western route? Because
Yeah, I'm not-
otherwise it interferes with us.
not sure. I'm not in agreement with that.
It interferes with us.
What's that?
It interferes with us.
Well, it's not.
It's still out there.
It's gonna.
This is a matter of, did we take the comments and the vote of the public to heart And if we did, or didn't, we should say that, but if we did, for those of us that did, what are we gonna do to turn that around?
Well,
That's
first
my-
of all, with respect to that, I don't think the will of the people is 300 or 3,000 people. But it's in our way. And by the way, the collective, we explored this so-called Western alternative.
But I,
We've already, several people on this committee have been through talking to residents, talking to the property owners, and have learned that it's not feasible.
I don't think it's, I honestly don't think it's about that. I don't.
What is it about?
I don't think I want to go there now and rehash the same
Yeah,
conversation. 'cause I don't.
okay, so you don't find that it's a hindrance to us to have nothing done on this thing that got everybody all worked up?
No.
Well, then what happens?
What is it hindering? Why are we, I mean, we are.
Somebody else has a
We're on
responsibility of
hold.
looking into
We're
it.
on hold because of perceptions, reality is perception or not, of the public. And if we don't address those and call those out, then
Here's my point, though.
Perception of the public was very specifically about one particular section.
there was a bunch of people that get up there, and I live at that segment, and I've gone on record, this will be like the 5th time, that if we thought that was the best alternative, I'd vote for it. So.
What, the so-called Western route?
No, the Hayden Road route. I'm saying which the town voted against, but that was a separate vote. The UTTC was a separate vote from the Hayden Road vote.
No, I understand, but a lot of the, I think it would be hard to make a statement that a lot of that friction in that vote at the attempted changing of the recommended changing of our committee, with source of that, the people who were most active in that were complaining about our ideas in a specific area where we thought we knew better and they thought they knew better and we weren't listening.
What's the matter of knowing better?
It's the listening and and it's the,
But the problem is that root cause is still just as unresolved. There's still an imaginary route out there that CPC has said that they would fund the design of if someone
That's not segment one.
hurdles.
That's not segment one.
No.
There's no
I'm
way.
not saying second one, I'm
I'm
saying
talking about the entire
there's a
trail.
hurdle out there that we are eventually gonna have to go back into that area. Like, so we can avoid it by simply saying, oh, we're gonna go look at this thing that we do actually have real funding.
We already did that. We voted to
About
suspend conversations about
I don't want.
that segment on Hayden Road. We already decided that we would focus on other segments. So it's resolved.
How about this approach? We've come back to you with our recommendations for a different language in our charge, in our purpose for your consideration. And I could summarize some of the reasonings why we did some of these things. And I could also say something like, we envision this Upper Charles Trail as being a hybrid approach. We are going to be able to create some trails and some paths, but some space that we want, some properties that we would like to have presently is not available. That does not mean that we can't get that property in 10 or 20 years. But in the meantime, we have a path forward because it is an allowable use to use existing sidewalks and roads.
Sure.
Yes, we can do it that relatively inexpensively too, by putting paint down the line.
But I don't know why we're going in front of the select board talking about that when I don't
Because we,
want to hear it.
um,
I'm just being honest,
To avoid,
trying to be helpful.
well, like I think Tim said, if it's all past, I don't think
Yeah.
we need to rehash.
Thanks, Tim. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, what happened?
Here,
I,
no, I'm just trying to present a path forward.
Yeah.
So that the select board doesn't think that we're,
but the path forward is what's going to be different? That's the question. If I'm on the select board, I would ask everyone here saying, what are you going to ensure is going to be different this time from last time?
well, that presumes that
I
there's
don't-
something wrong with the last time.
That's, some of us believe
Yeah, the mob.
wasn't,
believed
and
that.
some of us believe there was.
Okay, so-
I'm in the camp where I think we were doing some things wrong.
Which was what? Specifically?
You really want to get into the same debate?
Well, I picked from the following, communications,
proactive outreach and engagement.
don't repeat it, because we'll go.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jim. I don't think it's worth it,
Yeah.
but I think that's,
I disagree, by the way.
I know you do. That's why I said, why Bargo going, there were two different sides.
I have more
It
wisdom.
doesn't matter. We can still like.
I'm
each other.
older than you, I got more wisdom than you.
By a day, maybe. But at any rate, so I think that I agree with the recommendation to look forward, but I still think we need to answer the question, what's going to be different? If we can't answer the question or we don't agree that anything was wrong, we're not going to be sitting here as a group.
We have a more structured outreach, I guess, is what
I guess I think that
I was
Could be.
saying,
maybe a
This is
difference.
more
It's,
specifically.
we're gonna focus on what we can actually do and not on things that we can't do.
That's a good example. More structured outreach, focus on what's the town has stated that they're supporting right now.
Not just that, what's.
Not the town, come on.
Well, you know, so
Well,
we
Yeah,
cannot.
we're working for the town.
We can't
can't
solve
really
It's
it.
not the town that stated any preference. I mean, look at our audience. man.
It seems as though the things that we need to move forward, is, I keep going back to the ENF. And that's where we got bogged down. They did not like the ENF and we can't change it. And I think by helping people understand that the ENF is a flexible document. It's not hard. Just because it's a line on the map, it doesn't mean that that's going to be the final route. And I don't think people fully understood that. That is a document that goes to the Wetlands Division, DOT, to look at the total amount of wetlands in this total area, because if you are going to build this total 35, 8-mile route, you cannot go over a certain percentage of wetlands. And that's that's the only thing that ENF was going to do, was to look at the totality of the wetlands. And
route,
over the entire route from Hopkinton State Park
right?
all the way to
But
Milford.
that
parking lot.
included but included areas that were in high contention,
Correct. And with that,
which is the problem.
but the other thing you have to understand when the DOT looks at that map and they're going to say, there were multiple paths, multiple choices, and that's what they wanted. They're going to suggest, we don't take this path because it has too much wetland in it. You can take that path and you can stay out of the wetlands over here. And so they're going to do this analysis strictly with the wetland configurations.
I don't know if this is a conversation that we have with the select board. We're gonna lose them in the detail.
Well,
I think again, I'm sorry, I guess I'll say it one more time and I'll shut up and I'll propose we adjourn, but I think we have to just say what we're gonna do differently. We have to acknowledge that there was feedback. We have to. Whether we 100% in our heart of hearts, which I know some people don't agree and I don't agree with everything, but I agree with some of it. But at the end of the day, wherever each of us stands as a unit, we have to acknowledge that we are working for the town residents, and the town residents, whoever came out for whatever reasons, had indicated that they didn't like how we're operating. How are we going to change how we're operating? That's my view. So
Can
I'm
you
done.
imagine a mob of
All right,
400
Scott,
people
how would
showing
you
up to town
change
meeting and voting against school funding of some sort? Can you imagine that ever being something that would happen?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the school department has made so many mistakes in my 30 years here. But I would never think of going up there and say at town meeting and voting out their funding. We failed at building a school large enough for our people, for the kids.
you've got a school committee member here, so.
Okay, well, there's no reason Marathon School couldn't have been twice as big as it is when we built
I
it.
think it was linked to the demographer's predictions to get
right.
the MSBA
Have you
funding.
been around long enough and that the state can't predict anything?
I know.
That's
Well, they-
outrageous prediction.
No, this,
Considering how many people, how many bedrooms are there.
Not contentious issues.
I know, let's not,
That's right.
we're off course here.
I know. That's me.
Kind of off course.
That's me. That's me.
So Scott, how are you going to tell the selectmen that this committee is going to do better?
Different, not better.
Not gonna bring up Hayden Row,
I was literally going to say that.
not gonna bring up Hayden Row.
Not bad. Our hearts are in the right place, a lot of accomplishments, trying hard. I think that Jim hit on one of them. We have to have a much more structured and disciplined outreach.
Well, I didn't say that. I said that just that's
I put the word discipline in that, but you said structured.
But we need to have a board.
And honestly, and this is not anything to do with anybody, because I'm very much part of this. We're all part of a team, locking at arms. But this discussion today meandered. I think we lack focus and structure and discipline within our meetings. And I think the public views our dialogues. They're viewing us now, they're listening to me, but they are going to formulate their opinions and the level of confidence they have in us and doing our due diligence. If we do all our homework, we have the best recommendations in the world. If our meetings meander and we go off on tangents about school committees and trails and grants and submissions and who was doing what and why, it just loses confidence. So I think they lost confidence in us because we couldn't be structured. And then the third thing and last thing, in terms of overarching, I would say that we need to meet, I've used this phrase in our group before, meet them where they are. We need to meet people where they are. People with all forms of disabilities, we should be engaging with them and getting them engaged and encouraging them to be alternate members or even members. But that's one example. Running clubs, walking clubs, biking clubs, families, family groups, moms groups, all that groups, we need to meet them where they are. For us to sit here in this busy world of intense electronics and media, but in this busy world that we all have, if anybody here can say that they are proactively going to run to different things and multiple things all the time that they aren't aware of, how do you do that? You have to be made aware and you have to be proactive, reach out to, and you have to be given a reason to be engaged. I would say that 95% of this town doesn't even care about a trail between Milford and Ashland. And if we put that one question to vote with the town, I would say we would be shot down because I don't think it's ever been voted on. So we need to create excitement. We have to create engagement and we have to create people to want to care about it, to get it from a 5% to a 45%,
Yeah, they'll never happen.
to 45%, to 30%.
4.5%, you'd be happy. I mean, it's,
Yeah, whatever. I'm just saying, we have to get more engagement and we have to meet them where they are.
well, we've had,
Can't build it and they will come. That's not gonna work.
you done?
Sorry, yeah.
Well, no, I just want to add, we've always had open meetings. We've rarely had anybody in the audience. Anybody, any group, any member of that mob that voted what they voted could have offered to become a member, should have been out. I've never seen anybody, right? Have you seen anybody after that vote? People get spun up,
I saw a couple of people,
vote, and then that's, where are they?
correct, because people have,
Are they part of the 5%?
People have-
I don't think
the
so.
world in this world, myself included, very much has focus issues because so much being thrown at us. We have to give people a reason. We gave them a negative reason to get involved. We have to give them positive reasons to get involved.
Yes, and by the way, also reaching out to the various groups, awesome idea. But we can't be beholden to any one group. We can't say because the mothers of Hopkinton want, I don't know, play sets along the way, that we're gonna give up. We're the ones who are supposed to know what's required for an Upper Charles Trail, what's required by the state,
Mhm.
what's required by, any other relevant regulations. If somebody wants us to put jungle gyms every 3 miles, what are we gonna do? Cave and say, yeah, we'll do that? I mean, it's not required. We know that.
No, we will tell them right up front that what the purpose is and what we're doing it for and look to get them engaged. But I would venture to guess with me having young children, we would want a nice, comfortable place to go with low slopes and we could push strollers and, right? That's what I'm saying. I happen to be working on the Hughes Trail, which is a family trail, separate initiative, my other pet project here. And I am putting family-friendly jungle gyms. I believe we're going
Do
to.
that if that's,
Yeah,
if that
no, but I'm
comes to
saying,
that.
no, but that's different than our objectives, right? So that's separate. So I agree with you, and we have to be upfront with people at that point when they say, we'd like a jungle gym, we say, sorry, that's not in scope for this. This is not the project.
That's why you
So if they're-
have groups after.
If they're not interested because they only want a jungle gym, then we've eliminated them as a stakeholder, right?
But they can do that as an add-on later on after something's built, right?
So,
I'm just saying, we'll reach out to people, encourage their involvement, but we're the ones that are supposed to know how to do this and what's required, not some other group.
right, we have a set of parameters we have to stay within, boundaries we have to stay within. That's what we're trying to engage people on, within those boundaries.
So accomplishments, we don't make that part of. We just assume that this is just a revision of charge. We assume that will continue to be two committees. And this is revising our charge. So what we've accomplished so far. We put out something right away to the public of this is what's been done, right?
You could
I think that's all lost.
referencing it, no, it's not
I
like,
think it's all lost. I think the folks who voted us out were focused on one thing without recognizing anything else that's ever been done, including the so-called Western route, which was
but
explored.
again, Jim, again,
All right, we'll
yeah, no,
talk.
I think I think we just have to say, what are we
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah, yeah.
what are we gonna, how is our mindset and the way we operate and the way we engage people gonna change? If we don't articulate that in a way that's convincing, I don't think we exist as an entity.
Do you want to give the presentation?
Seriously,
Not like that. I mean, I disagree that we haven't
See,
done anything.
don't have a unanimous view.
No, because I'm insulted, frankly. I'm
Sorry?
insulted, not by you.
Oh, good, okay.
I'm insulted by this whole thing, which suggests that the Upper Charles Trail Committee has not done anything, hasn't accomplished anything, and that's such
I
BS.
don't think I've.
No, that's what I take from that whole vote and everything.
I've never heard any,
I think that's the problem, like.
That's a problem that because it's never talked about.
No.
Let Tim say
so-
something.
And I don't 100% know how to say this, but like, we volunteered to take on this work for the town, right? And then when we did it, a lot of people in town said, bad job. And
That's what I disagree with.
so you disagree with it, but I was there. I heard them say it. Like,
You heard 231 people say it. I mean, how many people live in town now? 20,000 people?
most of them don't say anything. So
But you heard a group
I understand what you're
riled
saying,
up.
but I like what,
And by the way, so we've accomplished, the Upper Charles Trail Committee
right?
accomplished a lot of things before you ever
Oh, I
came aboard.
No, we haven't done
And-
anything. since then.
and-
We got shut down in like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
after I got
and
on
even,
Like I,
Oh, you're.
oh,
like, we
yeah.
have definitely not accomplished anything. So when I say we, I'm really mean you guys. But I didn't want to.
I love it.
But I didn't want to like, you all did this or that. So we as a board, like, so I honestly, if you ask me what we should do, I think we should go to the select board and say, we all en masse resign and reapply for our positions, open it up, ask other volunteers
Yeah.
to apply, because,
I think that's what they're
And-
going to
and-
do. That's what I've heard. But
well, I think we should do it ourselves.
well, we still have time for that.
And like, my point is that no one's gonna run against us, because.
Well, what about all the
It's not a
people
very
that,
envious.
No one ran against me.
what about all the people that were opposed to what we're doing? Where are they? Why don't they?
Wouldn't it be
That's my
maybe they'll
point.
apply?
And like,
maybe
nobody,
qualify.
when I showed up, nobody else volunteered. I didn't win like on my good looks or my family connections. I won because I was the only choice. Like,
How most of our,
I think Amy twisted his arm.
how most of our government positions.
She broke it.
no, that's actually not true. But so my point is that I don't think we have changed. I don't.
This
think
is
it
demonstrating
necess-
that, yeah.
I don't necessarily think it makes sense to say we changed. I think it makes more sense to say
We've clarified,
we are who we are.
we've reinforced some things. Yeah.
And I think some of the town people who were angry are like, we showed them, they'll be better now. That mollifies people. Us humbly resigning our jobs and saying, we'd like to continue to help, we're gonna reapply. We're not saying like, screw you. We're saying, hey, this is open. We want everyone to come help us do this.
I think that
Here's
has
these open
value.
positions.
I do.
And then when no one takes it, the next time they say, hey, we don't like how you're doing it, we're gonna be like, well, you guys should have helped us better. Like,
They should have helped us better
which
before.
is not a very constructive, I'm not saying this is like a super constructive strategy, but like, the problem is, we all are who we are. Like, we're gonna do the best we can. I think we've always been doing the best we can. I think a board of imperfect people ran into an impossible task.
Hey, speak for yourself. Who's imperfect?
Right, we all are, like,
Impossible task is a clear thing, though,
right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll agree with
And-
that.
And it made people upset when we failed
right?
to do the impossible.
But I
There's nothing, we didn't
I
fail
think
at
that was very well put. I still think it's,
Well, no, so.
there's the
this is
how we
what I
actually
think we
went
We
failed.
didn't fail at anything.
No, let me tell you what I think we failed. We failed at making this impossibly perfect path that didn't disrupt any landowners, was in perfect area for people to like see all the scenery they loved, connected the 2 points we need to connect without taking anybody's land that
And
didn't
having
give to us,
zoning.
and didn't
Oh,
upset any
land.
neighbors who didn't want a bike going past their house. And didn't like the list of things that we like, it's an impossible task. And so, of course we failed. And I think it's possible, personally, that with a super good approach, knowing that we're gonna upset people with our failures, to give them exactly what they want.
That's not using that word.
I know, but, and like, part of.
I mean, I'll even accept shortcomings, but failure, absolutely not.
So if we know we're gonna have shortcomings and we're honest with the people, and when they say we want jungle gyms, and we go, you're stupid for wanting jungle gyms, we're not gonna get any.
it's how you go about it, correct?
So if we go, yeah, jungle gyms would be great, and we hear that that's what your element is, and like, so it's an approach, and
But it's not in scope because we didn't get funding or whatever.
right, but the problem is that
That's
it's
TCMC.
every time.
Yeah, Parks and
It's
Rec.
very difficult, 'cause it's every time you have any interaction with any other individual, no matter how ridiculous the situation is, you just have, like, there's a high probability when somebody is unhappy with the particular, like, the obvious choice, right? They're still unhappy with it, and it is really, really nearly impossible not to make them unhappy. And like, what we saw was that we made 300 people, like, which is obviously not the whole town, not even most of the town, not even, it's five,
Yeah.
it's not even
I
5%.
submit we made 2 people unhappy.
No.
They happened to get enough people.
No, so, and so, like, I feel like that we have some, like, we know better in us, and it's hard to lose that, but we need to figure out how to do that better. Anyway, my point is
Yeah,
still that I think that the real thing is no one's gonna take over the task force, so we have.
It's an interesting suggestion. I would just say that, I agree, very well put, very well put. I think there's a big element, and I think this is an undertone of what you're saying, of how we executed more than what we executed. I think it's how we went about it
Right.
that we need to all accept to have to change. All of us, all of us, whether we agree with. But we have to accept the
Again.
fact that we have to operate much more focused, much more efficiently, nip things at the bud, not kick things to the curb or delay them or whatever perceptions there are. We have to be much more attentive to responding, not necessarily telling them what they want to hear, but telling them honestly and immediately, for example. Anyways, I could go on to example, but that's the undertone, is like, it's how we have to operate.
what I object to and why I say I'm insulted is because we have done the things that are in here, but whether we've had any participation from anybody, it hasn't been there. There's been no participation. Peter, once in a while, you guys are here now. And also, to say we ignored the citizens, Jamie, do you recall us proposing going up to the piece of private town owns at the end of Deer Run?
Mm.
We listened to
Knocked
your
on So
neighborhood.
many doors.
We listened to the opposition in your neighborhood, and what did we do? We took that out of play. So we've listened to various groups along the way. We have not just ignored.
Right.
We haven't ignored people. We listened to whatever that is, Blackthorn, Blackstone.
10 years.
Well, I don't know, what's a Blackstone?
Blackthorn.
Black,
It's a bidirectional lane.
but.
Exactly, two-way street.
But yeah, they wanted to
got
come
it.
right down Deer Run.
So we have listened. My point is that we have listened to people.
Right.
And so whenever I hear we've
I know.
failed or whatever,
And
it
this-
pisses me off.
I know, and there's somehow we did not, that's the hardest part is to not take any of this.
Oh, I don't take a, well,
Even when
all right, not to,
people who are at the other side are being super personal about it, which,
well, that's the other part,
oh,
right?
I know, and like, that's where I'm like, okay, I can't fault anyone for doing it, but I'm still like, the only way to move, to finally move forward, hopefully, so like two things can happen.
Yeah,
One is, we just lay low long enough that the people who are the most upset have found somebody else to go be upset at. Which is,
That's not going to happen.
well, no, but that, like, it will, if we avoid the like hard spots for a really long time.
they should be upset about something. That
Well,
there's no progress on the
that's true.
so-called
That's-
Western.
and
Oh, right, those people haven't shown up, unfortunately.
Well, they haven't shown up to push the Western route.
Here's my trail.
I mean, it was a red herring in my opinion, and that's proven. Because there's been nothing done about this so-called Western.
Right, it might be, like, the benefit might be that by going away for 2 years, we've lost our tail a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, laying low, we might have, you know,
Well, how about this, something like this approach that we just stay away from the hot zone
Yeah.
for a while and concentrate on segment one, which is what we kept telling people we were going to do anyway, but maybe if we say it
Right.
in new,
Yeah.
in a fresh approach,
I
and just say,
gotta just plain openly admit, we
Yeah.
cannot solve all of the problems right now, and we can only, and there's plenty to work on for the problems, for the parts that we actually can. I should just do that.
Mhm.
yeah, I mean,
And
that would
not-
be.
That's what we tried to do in the
what we
meeting.
tried to do, but we,
You know, other people are trying to get us to have the whole route, so you're right, we're gonna have a paper route for part of the way and a real route for the other part of the way.
and
The paper route is not gonna be
challenge-
figured out for another
the
decade.
challenge
Part
is to get the
Okay.
big, to get the big tip money, we have to submit an ENF,
Just the
Just-
paperwork.
just the paperwork. But people were frightened by the ENF.
But
But how do we educate people? to
yeah,
that?
that's the thing. That's the key
We have
word.
to educate.
It's like if we gave, I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong, because you might have done this, Jane, but I didn't catch
You
it.
didn't
but
have
doesn't mean-
time.
Okay, so it was a rush process. That's part of it too, like planning ahead. But if we went out there and broadcast the heck out of it, saying, just telling everybody, this is what we have to do.
Because we have no choice.
We have.
Instead of doing it and having them hear about it, think it's a covert operation because of the lack of trust. So I think it just builds on the lack of trust. So again, it goes to how we do things. It's not what we're doing. It's how we went about it. I think we have to accept the fact that things do have to change. We have to operate differently. And if we acknowledge that, we accept it, we admit it, we don't take it personally, I think we can do it. And it may take a decade to get
It's gonna take,
anything in terms of
that's
a
why
real route.
that's why these
For a complete-
multi-use
Yeah.
paths take 25, 30 years.
even-
They're only 10 years into it, 12 years into it.
Oh, that's it.
But
14, 15.
But
Look,
But
this-
the thing is, other.
We-
other
It's like COVID because we've been on
places that were
hold.
Successful didn't have the
You forgot about last year.
private ownership.
Yeah.
What's that?
Austin was really lucky, they are.
It's not-
Oh, yeah.
so was Milford. Milford
Yeah,
had
exactly.
80% of their trail was already donated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The abandoned rail bed.
Now, have we, we,
Don't have.
I'm gonna toss out a flyer here. Have we looked at the utility route going from Ashland to Milford?
utility.
Utility poles. We have an entire path of utility poles cut out
Yeah, they
from
won't
Main
let us-
Street here.
Yes, we did
Who's-
look
We
at
own it. The town owns it.
No.
No, we
What are
don't.
you talking about? The right of way on the.
See,
road?
gas,
No, it's Tennessee Gas, the High Line, the High.
High Line,
High
that's-
lines.
We don't.
that's
have
not a
that. They don't have
I thought,
National Grid.
Unless we have an easement for some of it. They have rules about what you can do with
You
it.
can't go.
Say-
parallel with-
looked into the easement and how we could use it.
We looked at it
I've
from the
never-
high
I've
center.
never been anywhere
No,
with.
If
trail
you look at an aerial view, there's literally a path cut out
Yeah,
from,
yeah.
from there
Purpose
to Milford.
will not let you
It's
do
like-
that.
And it's relatively flat.
It's-
The only
Jane-
thing, the only thing,
Huh? Well, there's one bump in the middle.
the only thing they'll let you do is cross perpendicular
Yeah.
over it. And.
We already know that because Jane looked into it for.
Well, that's why I asked.
Prestwick,
Yeah.
right?
It's-
I'm
it's
impressed with
absurd.
I've never been in-
It's absurd the trouble that's given us for the little we've asked for them. on that.
50 yards.
No, they just don't.
It's okay to have an ATV and tear it up, but.
Take the little road,
Okay,
Follow the path on it, it's what it comes down to.
Rocky.
Yeah.
whenever the select board meeting is,
Easier though.
I would hope that everyone could show up and then feel free to join in the conversation if it's appropriate. I'll just do, you're not gonna be there?
I'm gonna be in Florida on 7th. You said September 17th.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what he said.
Oh, is that what's
Well, we
coming?
can,
It's tentative for the 17th.
it's tentative, so
So
they
it's
may
like-
change their mind. I don't know.
Yeah. That's one of the
Um,
topics.
Do we need another meeting before then?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I do think we need to accept feedback.
We do.
Good word.
So in summary, here's our new organization chart. Pass it around the room.
All right, wait.
Checkmate.
I have no idea what the hell that is.
People in the,
Therapy.
or HCAM or others are
Something to do
wondering.
with the rock over there.
It looks to me like that pond's trying to go straight forward instead of taking a right side.
It's a bishop. Oh, that one.
This one,
I'm sorry, Eric,
pond is attacking a rook directly in front of us. That's illegal.
So,
voting machines.
we at a point where you'd accept a, motion to adjourn?
I'm glad you appreciate it.
Jane?
Huh?
You ready for a motion to adjourn?
Yes, do I have a,
I make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you all for coming. Thank
Okay.
you for all of your participation.